everyone, and welcome to Touchbase Thursday for May 13th. How is it Thursday already? That is just nuts. So I'm just going to give it a moment for those of you to find me live here, and we will get started in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, once you're live and you see me, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started with my Facebook Live in just a little bit. I really, though, don't know how it is Thursday already. This week is flying by for me. And hi, Kay. I don't know. And Sonia, you guys started to comment in here. I don't know if it's because it's the last week of my girls having dance class and next week is just a makeup class date or what. But this week has just flown by for me. It has been crazy. Hi, Philomena. And most of you know we're not going on our trip. I can't even imagine trying to get ready. We were supposed to be leaving this Saturday, so can't even imagine if we would have been going on that, how crazy it would have been. So hi again to Cindy and Rhonda and Janet and Beth. Welcome, ladies. I've got an awesome presentation to share with you tonight using a really awesome bundle that I think you're going to find some unique uses to it. You see a little template that I put together of different ways that I've created flowers with it. Thank you, Natalie. I asked her to go get me some water, and then she's got to plug in my computer because my computer is at 26%. So I'll quit seeing your comments if I don't get this thing plugged in. So I apologize, you guys. Okay. So anyway, a few things that I have. Ignore me here while I plug in my computer. Like I said, otherwise I can plug in right there. Otherwise, you guys are not going to be able to have my comments, your comments be seen here in a little bit. But a few things I have as far as how busy our life has been. So today, most of you know that my daughter Claire has been waiting patiently. She's 13 for the COVID vaccine to open up for those ages 12 to 15. She's got asthma, and I let my girls kind of have their own choice on whether or not they wanted to receive the vaccine. And again, I respect everyone's decision and where everyone is, but it was a happy day for her as she was able to get her. This morning, I looked on our health department's website, and there was nothing available for 12 to 15-year-olds. And then I looked on my lunch hour, and lo and behold, there was a clinic open about 35 minutes away from us. And so I got a hold of my boss and said, do you mind if I take a couple hours of personal time today? And he said, absolutely, go ahead. And so I called Claire and said, get ready, you don't have much time. Because Claire's only, middle school is only in school half days. So we're able to have a little bit of flexibility in her afternoons. So she got ready and we drove north to 35 minutes, and she was able to get her first COVID vaccine. So she was pretty excited about that. She's going to be going to a camp. It's a Blue Lake Fine Arts camp. She went a couple years ago, and she's going to be going to that again this summer. And so she really wanted to be vaccinated before she went on that trip. So she will be able to be. So we're excited about that. So that was a quick last minute thing thrown into my day today. And then on top of it being the last full dance week or full classes of dances before recital next weekend, Natalie's high school dance team decided to have tryouts. Her coach decided to do tryouts this week. So Natalie's been having tryouts yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So it has been crazy busy with all the amount of running that we've been doing for dance. I'm looking forward to having it a little bit slow down for us. Like I said, next week I think they each only have 2 classes each. And then on the 22nd of May is their recital, and they're doing it more like a showcase. They're only going to have like 4 or 5 dances at a time, but it's going to be streamed over their Facebook. They're going to be doing a Facebook Live similar to what I do right here, and so I'm going to actually be posting the dance studios website, our Facebook page, and the time that my girls are in their performances in case any of you might want to watch. I know some of you have been following their dance story and their dance career, so I would be more than happy to share that with any of you that might want to watch that live stream on Saturday. No obligation, but I'm going to put it out there so I don't oversee anybody who might want to, or overlook sending it to anybody who might want to see that on the 22nd. So we're pretty stoked about that. I also wanted to make sure that you guys knew about my virtual party that I am doing on Monday. So since I am not going on the trip, I decided to party with all of you. So I'm doing a Facebook virtual party. I know a lot of you are probably already part of the Facebook group. I will post the group here in the comments and in the description of my video after I'm done. If not tonight, it'll be up there tomorrow. But I'll be doing make and takes using the contour colors and contour bundle. And I've got 2 make and take kits kits left. So if any of you are interested in make and take kits, local pickup is $20. To ship it to you is $25. Oh, hi to Missy and Melissa. They're together, and Shireen and Donna and Nancy. If I forget any of you, I apologize in advance. I'm just seeing a few comments come trickling in here. But yeah, so I have a couple of those kits left. It makes 6 cards, and there's a little, I call it surprise and delight in there, a little goodie treat that I put in there for all of you as well. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. I prepped enough kits where I've got 2 left over after everybody who had registered has received theirs already in the mail. They went out earlier this week. So that's going to be kind of like where I do Facebook Lives. I'll do 2 or 3 of them throughout the 2-hour time block, 6:30 to 8:30. I have games that you can comment on, prizes that you can win by commenting on posts. There'll be a huge ordering promotion. I'm doing a mystery hostess, which I'll tell you more about on Monday. But basically, you have the chance of getting free product. So it's pretty awesome. Oh, yay, Nancy. Yes, Lori, you can still get the kit even if you can't attend the event. So how it's going to work is my event will be open, and all my projects, so all the Facebook Lives will show up in my event. And then I also will have all of the pictures of the cards. I'll also post those on my Facebook Live as well. So you'll be able, or on my Facebook group. Sorry, my Facebook group. So you'll be able to put those together, and you can even comment. Usually I have that for about a 3-day time period, so you can go back and look at everything and comment and do all this stuff and participate. You just won't be participating live, but you can still go back and do all of it. Absolutely. So like I said, just let me know. The make and takes are really, really cute. I think you guys are going to like them. Let's see here. So I got you down, Nancy. Lori, you can let me know, and we'll go from there. If I have to make it more, I definitely can, too. So let's see what else I've got on the way of... Let's see here. My online bingo was last night, so thanks to those of you that played online bingo. If you want to do bingo next month, it is on June 16th, and it will be all prizes from the new annual catalog. So I know Lori plays bingo with me every single month and has a blast. Hopefully in the next, I used to always do online bingo plus a local bingo for any of my stamping friends that liked to do it locally. And hopefully in the next few months, I'll be able to open that up again and do a local one here in my basement. We'll just kind of play that by ear. But if not, anyone's able to join the online one, it's just as fun. We have a really good time doing that. And so this has been a crazy week for me because I packed all of my classes and events in this week thinking I was going to be gone next week. So I'm like, what am I going to do next week? So that's how I decided to do this virtual party. And then the other thing I'm going to be posting, and I'm thinking I might post this in my virtual party as well. Okay. I'm going to be doing a kit sale. I have been cleaning my basement out big time in preparation for my BOGO sale. So if you've not signed up yet for my BOGO sale, it is June 11th and 12th. It's in my garage. And there's a sign up so that I only have about 8 of you here at a time, so we can kind of keep track of the number of people here and keep it safe. So there's a sign up. Most of you probably got a postcard in the mail if you're local. If you are not local to Mount Pleasant, there's an online version of it as well. I've posted about it a few times on my group page, and I'm sure I'll be posting about it again. But cleaning out my basement and getting ready for that, I have found so many kits that need a good home. When I say kits, they're like left over from classes. So I've probably got 50 or 60 of them. So I am doing a kit sale. How it's going to work is I'm going to post all of my kits available in an album, and you can claim 2 of them, and you get 2 for free with a $50 minimum Stampin' Up! Order. So that is 20 cards for free with a minimum $50 order because they need to go to a good home, okay? So if you have any questions on that, you can message me. A lot of the information will be posted out there, but it's another thing I'm going to be offering just Wednesday through Saturday as a little promotional thing since I'm going to be home. I guess call it Kim's cleaning and wants to get rid of stuff. So anyway, that's just a little bit of announcement there. So I also have my regular classes still open. There are 3 card classes open, baby pull toys. What I'm going to be featuring tonight is actually a class this month, if any of you are interested in it. Now, the other option you have is putting in a minimum $30 order. You'll get 3 projects I'm featuring tonight. One being a really cute 3D project that you're not going to want to miss. It is pretty awesome. And That's again the promotion that's going on tonight through Sunday. Any $30 order will get you 2 cards in my little 3D project that you're going to be seeing, and you guys are going to love it. My Sand and Sea 6x8 scrapbook album is also available for purchase. It's a 24-page album, perfect for spring break, beach vacation, things like that. So anyway, that's what I have in the way of announcements. And we're going to do our sharing stuff. Okay. So if any of you shared my video last week, you got into the drawing to receive one of my 2 bolts of ribbons that I showed you last week. One is the Pale Papaya, new in color ribbon. And the other one is the, gold, metallic gold ribbon. So the winner of our, metallic gold ribbon is Janie Anderson. So congratulations to Janie. Woohoo! And then the winner of the Pale Papaya, one of the new in colors, is Lou Lesner. So congratulations to Lou and to Janie. So those will get out in the mail. I'll probably, Janie, give you yours when I see you at one of our meetings. And then up for grabs this week, I have 2 brand new embellishments. So one is the Genial Gems. These are really pretty. They are like they go with the hand-penned bundle. And the other one is the Loose Flower. I got to show you these. The Loose Flower Flourishes. These are gorgeous. I'm not sure if you guys can see in there without me dumping it out, but I think I showcased them on one of my other Facebook Lives, but they're really pretty little flowers that you can just use little glue dots and glue them down. So yes, pretty awesome things. So brand new product. How's that? Okay, so we will pick a winner for those next week. So I originally said I was not going to be doing a Facebook Live when I was gone, but I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live because I'm here. So bonus, you guys get to see me on Monday night. You get to partake in a kit sale, and you get to see me Thursday night. So anyway, that'll keep me plenty busy while all my friends are off in Maui having fun. But I'm really truly okay with my decision, and we're looking forward to a trip that we're going to take later this fall as our family outing and going somewhere once Claire is vaccinated. I'll even feel better about that too. So, okay, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area. We're going to make a couple cards. I'm going to show you guys a really awesome 3D project, and I'm going to demonstrate for you some really awesome ways that you can take, use the flower field, what's it called? The flower friendship flowers or something like that. I don't even know. I have to grab a catalog and look it up, the exact word. But it's a bundle in our new catalog that I think when you first look at it, you think, but when you kind of see some of the versatility of things and the different ways you can make flowers with it, I think you might change your mind on this bundle. So with that, I am going to transition my camera down, and we are going to create some projects. So I'm going to have to also move my computer strategically because my computer is plugged in. So I'm just going to adjust my camera here first. You guys are going to get some and we are going to strategically move that around. And I'm going to grab a catalog real quick so that I can show you guys this awesome bundle. Okay, so you're kind of getting a sneak peek. Look at this cute little project. Okay, so these are all the different things we're going to be talking about tonight. One thing I didn't give you a sneak peek on, so I will show you that here in just a couple of minutes. But this awesome bundle, and this is the one thing I'm not prepped for. I did not have it marked ahead of time, so bear with me. Flowers of Friendship. It's on page 78. So let me show you it in our catalog. And then I'm going to show you some of the versatility of things that I did with it. So this right here is the Flowers of Friendship bundle. You have the stamp set and then the coordinating punch, and it sells for $35. I think that's a really good deal for a bundle and for a punch. So when you first look at this, you might think, oh, okay, I'm not sure I really, really like the flowers. They look kind of bland. I'm not sure what I want to do with them, so on and so forth. Well, I'm going to give you lots of different ideas of things that you can do with these here in just a couple of moments. So this is the stamp set, and then here is the punch, okay? So I am going to leave this sit out here so that you guys can kind of see what the punch looks like. And I'm going to bring in a little template of what I've created of all the different things that you can do with this punch. So with this punch, I'm hoping you guys can kind of see and not have a glare. This one right here, what I did is I layered, actually I need to, yes, that's how I want it. This one right here is I stamped the big one twice. So you have a stamped image here of the big one and the little one. So you're going to hear me talk about big and little. I stamped the big one twice, the little one once, punched it out, layered the two big and then one small. This is just the single one all on its own. This one right here is two of the big ones together. This one right here is just two of the small ones together. And then here you have again, just some small ones that I did. These are the same. I didn't even realize that. I did this late last night, so bear with me. These are just some little of the little leaves that you can make with it, and it punches out. And then here is a flower where I did a big and a little. Instead of crisscrossing them, they are set up just together like a cross. And then this one, these right here are ones that I actually cut. This is the small one, this is the large one. And I cut some of the petals off to make it look like it was a partial flower. And then here I did the same thing. I cut these petals apart on the big one, layered them underneath the small one. And so these are all different ways in which you can use that punch to do different flowers. This one right here I thought was very creative. So this one, although it's a little off-centered and it's driving me crazy, but again, I was literally doing this late at night. This is the big leaf. Now you could also make this with the small leaf. So all I did was stamp this 5 times, punched it out, and made it look like more of a petal flower using the leaf. Isn't that awesome? I think that is so cool. So this is just to give you some ideas of things that you can do. Now I will take a picture of this and I'll be posting it on my page with the samples of my cards tonight so that you'll be able to use this as a reference of different ways in which you can use that awesome punch to create different things. The one card that I'm going to be sharing with you and one thing I thought of after the fact, you know, I don't know about you guys, but do you ever like go to bed at night and then you sit there and think about things and you're like, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that. So this is one of the cards that I'm going to be showing you guys tonight. Now I'm not going to probably have time to make all the cards that I've got because I really want to show you guys that awesome 3D project. So we're going to start with the 3D project and then see how much time we have to complete the rest of the projects. But this right here is a stamp. This is just a stamp from the Flowers of Friendship stamp set. And what you could do though is if you wanted to, is I looked at this and I'm like, those resemble the petals that are on the flower. So you could do the same thing. If you didn't want to color these in and you wanted to make it like a 3-dimensional look, you could stamp one of these, punch it out, and then place them onto this flower and have that be kind of and this would be the small one. You could use the small one here and replace the stamped images with flower petals, if that makes sense. So just something that I thought would be a neat little thing to mention to all of you. So I hope that this kind of helps you guys see the versatility of some of the things that you can do with this. And this was just a kind of off the cuff kind of looking at it and coming up with some things. I'm sure there's much more that you can do with this that I haven't even touched on. But like I said, I thought it'd be neat to show you that as a little bit of a starting point of the different things that you can do. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you guys tonight is this awesome 3D project for 2 reasons. One, I want to make sure we have time to do it. And 2, all of you know that I stress out about 3D projects. I struggle sometimes with 3D projects. And so I will be much more relaxed to show you the rest of my projects after I get through this one. Okay, so if Donna is watching me, I love it. Every time I get flustered with something, Donna always will say, you're okay, you're doing great. So Donna, if I start to fluster a little bit, you're on it, girl. Okay, so this, like I said, I thought was really cute. Now, I cannot take credit for this project. I saw it on YouTube. Dawn Griffith had done this as a Halloween project, and I thought how cute to showcase the little spring themed stuff. So you could do this in so many different and I tweaked it a little bit from how she made hers, but you can do this in so many different patterns and colors, and thank you, Donna, and all kinds of different things that you can do with this. So, you know, again, you can make it Christmas themed, birthday themed, little party favors. You can see I put a little window sheet in there, and I will post the measurements for this as well. They're written really messy right now in my handwriting, but I'm going to also tell them to you as we go through making this. Now, the candy that I have in here are and I can't say the name of them, they are the Ferrero Rocher hazelnut chocolates. I don't even know how to say them, but they're these chocolates, and they are very, very popular at Christmas time. I was a little worried I would not be able to find them in the store. but they were at our local Walgreens. So I love the fact that we were able to find those. And, you know, there's only one missing, so that's good because it's right here. I have not eaten any of them yet. Natalie was going to get into them, and I says not till after my Facebook Live. So anyway, let me bring in my pieces and parts that I've got cut for this, and we're going to go through together how I made this. And again, I'll be giving you all of the measurements as well. So you're going to need to have two different pieces of, I did mine in Whisper White. I'm just going to lay it down so you guys can see it. It's kind of hard standing up, but you're going to need two different pieces of Whisper White. So I did a little bit of the prep work in advance. So one of the Whisper White pieces, which is this one right here, is 1 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, and then you have another one here. This one is 2 3/4 by 5. So you're going to have two of them. Again, you're going to have them in whatever color. I just chose to do Whisper White because it's what I had quick and easy to grab from my stash. Then what you're going to do, you're going to do some scoring on these. So on this longer piece right here, what you're going to do is you are going to put the long side up in your trimmer, and you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. You're going to score at 2 1/2. You're going to score at 3, 4 3/4, 5 1/2, and 7. Okay, so you're going to have lots of little score marks on here. You can probably see that I've already scored this. And again, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Kathy, because yeah, I can't pronounce those candy. They're like hazelnut candy. That's what I like to call them. And I didn't do any of the folding of the scores yet, so I'll do that with you on my video here tonight. Then you're going to have this littler piece. Again, this is 2 3/4 by 5. So on the short side, which means up here on this is going to go in your trimmer up here, I scored it at 1/2 of an inch on each side. Okay, so 1/2 of an inch on each side is a score line. Then on the long side, you're going to turn it, and you're going to score it at 1/2 of an inch, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, and 4 1/2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to create our little tray for our candy to go in first. Let me pull out one more of these little candies. Let's see here. I should have had one out already. Okay, so I got one of my little candies out for in a minute here. So what we're going to do is we are going to fold in. Oh, so before we fold in, you'll see I've got a circle cut out of here. So this circle right here is the circle for the little tray that the candy is going to sit into. Can you see that it's got a little circle cut into that? And that candy fits perfectly inside of there. Now, I used a layering circle. I used one of the small ones, and all I did was make sure it was going to cut inside those 1/2 inch score lines. It's probably about between a 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 inch circle. You could also use a circle punch if you wanted to, and it doesn't matter which side. These two pieces where they're scored at are identical. You'll see that in a minute. So it doesn't really matter which side you choose to do that in. Okay, it doesn't really matter. You just got to put that in one of them. So from here, I'm going to score or fold all of these lines that I've scored, and again, I'll be putting all of these measurements in the description of the video so that you'll be able to have it for this awesome little project. And the other thing that we are going to do is we are going to cut off all of these little tabs that you see, the two ends and here in the middle. So I'm going to bring in my paper snips, and I thought about having that done in advance, but I thought, no, I want you guys to be able to see it from start to finish, other than the scoring that I did do in advance and a little bit of the machine work, the cutting out those circles. Now, you could also use different shapes if you wanted to in these. You could use, you know, fancier dies that have like a, you know, more of a fancy edge if you wanted. I just went with the circle because I was in a hurry to get it done. I had good intentions on getting this project done a long time ago, and of course it happened at about 6 o'clock tonight. So I started it before I picked up my girls from their dance stuff, and then I finished it when I got home. So hopefully it's still fresh in my memory of how to make this completely. But it's really, I think, quite simple once you kind of get the hang of it. The most, I call it, obnoxious part is cutting out all of these little tabs, but it's all good. Okay, so you're going to cut out all 6 of them, okay? All right, move them out of the way, and then you can see that this is just going to fold up and become a little tray. See that? So cute. So I'm going to be putting adhesive on, let me see here, if I put adhesive on these 3 sides. Where do I want to do it on the ones that have the, let me see here. Yeah, I'm going to put the adhesive on the ones that have, so I'm going to put adhesive on the 3 sides where I have the circle out of it, okay? And I'm going to use some liquid glue just because it's what I have here. Now you could use tear and tape, you could use anything else that you wanted to. I'm just going to use some liquid glue since it's what I have here. And this is just going to go over like this. Okay, I'm going to hold it for a couple minutes so that it gets kind of stuck really good. I don't want it to pop up on me. And then you can see from there that this is going to fit perfectly into that little tray. Isn't that cute? So far, so good, right? I am going to hold this a little bit more because it wants to pop a little bit until that glues a little bit. But these are the cute little trays. Okay, so that's that part of it. Then you're going to have, hopefully that's good enough, the bigger part here. And again, all of these also have score marks. So you're just going to fold at all of the score marks. And let me make sure I get these scored right and at the right place. I don't think I pushed as hard as I should have. So I'm just going to score these. Oh, happy birthday to Caleb, Heather. How exciting. Okay, and I may have folded those the wrong way. There we go. So you can kind of see how that fits in there, the little tray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, do I have that folded? Yeah. I'm going to add some liquid glue. We're going to glue this little tray right into this centerpiece here. And then that's going to get glued up and that's going to get glued up. And then this is just going to come together. So I'm going to put some liquid glue onto this piece. This is the little tab. I'm going to put some liquid glue onto this piece and onto this little piece. Okay, so far so good, right? And I'm going to put this right inside where I have that scored. I'm just going to pull this one up, pull that one up, and I'm just going to hold that in place for a little bit. Woohoo, you guys, I did it, I did it, I did it. All right, so again, you can get very creative with what you use for designing of these. I just chose to use you know, this. Now the other thing that I did that I should have done before I put this together this far is I also have a little window sheet. So you can see here, this is the little window sheet. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. I don't want to peel that apart too far. I'm going to add 4 little dots of liquid glue behind this circle. And I cut this, so this piece of paper was 1 3/4. So I cut my piece of window sheet just a smudge shorter. Thank you, Janet. Just a smudge shorter on all 4 sides so that you wouldn't see it. And I'm just going to adhere that inside of there. So basically then you can see that cute little candy popping through the window. Isn't that cute? So cute. Okay, so the next thing that I did, and I'm going to hold that while I talk just so that it makes sure I get it in there and get it glued really good, is I added my ribbon. So you're going to use a hole punch to be able to cut that. Now, I know a lot of you have hole punches, and I'm using one that isn't a Stampin' Up! Hole punch, but it's a crocodile, and it's one that I've had around my house forever. And it works so that I'm able to kind of punch through 2 layers of cardstock, because if you use just a regular punch, you'd only be able to go through 1, and then you have to kind of line it up. So I'm just going to hold this together and kind of have it centered, and I'm just going to use my little crocodile here. I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to punch. So that way I'm able to get through both at once. So I'm sure some of you have gadgets laying around the house that you're able to do that with. And then I have some of the, I chose to use the Fresh Freesia, which is one of the new in colors. And so I then have a piece of my ribbon that I'm going to cut here. And all I'm going to do is tie that through. So I just cut it, and where I folded it, that's the part that I'm going to put through the little hole here. And this is what's going to hold it together for me, so that way I don't have to use any glue. And if they want to, you know, eat the candy out, they can just undo this part right here. But there they have it all put together, and you can put that a little bit shorter if you wanted to. Isn't that just adorable? And then from there, I'm like, what else can I do with it? And I thought, why not cut a piece of designer series paper and wrap around the bottom just to add a little bit more color to this. Now again, I could have used any color that I wanted to on this. I just chose to use white because I was in a hurry to get one done to share with you. So I'm just going to take, this is just about a 3/8 inch piece of designer paper, and I just took a 12 by 12 piece and cut it at 3/8 of an inch. I know I'm not going to need to use all of it to wrap around here. I was running out of time to give you guys an exact measurement, so I figured I'm just going to go with it, and we'll figure it out. I'll figure out how much I have left, but like I said, I was starting to stress a little bit getting this one done. Now, what I did is I started in the back of this project because I don't want my seam to be on the front. But you really don't need to have a seam if you start all the way at the end, okay? But I started at the back, and then each time as you wrap this piece of paper around, you want to give it a really good pinch around those corners so that it will score and it'll adhere really good around the corners of this, this little tray. Okay, so that's all I'm doing here is pinching it as I go. And I didn't add any adhesive to the end, so I'm just going to put a little bit on the box itself or on the tray. And then from there, like I said, I've got too much. I'm going to guess it's about 4.5 inches too much. But there you have it. And then I added that pretty little flower. And in this case, I only have one because I only stamped one. I ran out of scrap when I grabbed my scrap. So we're going to only put this one on. Again, when I showed you that different ideas of how you could do the different flowers. So we're just going to go with this one instead of having the two. And then I topped it off with a rhinestone. Is that not cute? Would this not be cute to make to give like for Christmas time or, you know, any kind of, I don't know. I just think it's so cute. And I am going to trim them a little bit because they're a little too long for me. But like I said, I wanted to definitely make sure I got through this project because I think it is adorable using those little chocolates. And if you really wanted to, you could, it's not going to really fall out of there unless you pick it up and stuff, but it just fits in there so perfect, so cute. And I just think they'd be great to use as little party favors or anything like that. I'm always looking for new things to do. Thank you, Shireen, for, you know, for Christmas time and craft shows and things like that. So I hope you guys like that. That was the first one I wanted to share with you. And I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Like I said, I usually stress out over 3D projects. I know, Donna, right? I did it. I did it. So anyway, I hope you guys like that one. I thought it was a pretty cool little project. And again, you can kind of think very creatively on different dyes you can use, different product that you can use to create these. And no matter what you do, they're going to be just adorable. Okay. So, woohoo, I did it. All right. So let me share with you, like I said, I've already shared, let me bring this back in for anybody who has maybe joined me a little bit late. I'll be posting a picture of this again. This just shows some of the versatility of the different ways you can layer your flowers and make your flowers using the awesome stamp set and punch. So the next project we're going to do is we are going to make a card together. Okay, so we're going to go with this one right here. I always struggle with which one to do first and which one to do, you know. Bear with me as I get them out of my bag because they're all nicely, neatly packaged for me so that I have them here. Now, I did a lot of the stamping in advance because I didn't want to spend too much time stamping, but I do have a few tips and tricks that I want to tell you about this punch. Okay, just because the way the punch is designed, you have to get a little bit creative with how you stamp. So let me bring in a scrap of paper here and I'll show you what I mean. So on this punch, you can see that the bigger flower is on here like a cross. The little flower is on here like an X. So it helps if you stamp them that exact same way, okay? It also helps, like if you wanted to punch out the little one, you have to bring your cardstock all the way down. So if I was to stamp down here on the bottom, I'm wasting a bunch of that cardstock. So if you're gonna be punching a lot of these, it helps to have your cardstock be about 1.25 inches, then you're not wasting any of that cardstock along the top, okay? Now, if you were going to just be stamping and punching out the big one, it's much easier then to do those right along the bottom edge because you can get right in there. You're going to want to make sure you leave enough space in between though, and again, it's easier if you stamp on the one end and keep moving it down because you're going over an area that you already stamped with or punched out, if that makes sense. So you do have to think a little bit strategically when you are stamping these and cutting them out. The other thing that I have done, and again, it depends on how comfortable you are. You can also punch them out, then stamp them afterwards. So I have a lot of times what I'll do is I'll punch something out. Well, I'll actually demonstrate that. So let's just say I wanted to have this flower stamped. And again, it depends on how comfortable you are with it. But what you could do is you could also take your go into your ink, and then you can get creative with this way and line it up and put it on top, push it down, and voila, you have a flower. Okay, so again, it just depends on what you're more comfortable with, and you could also do that with your leaves. And depending on how, whatever way you prefer to do it. So just some little tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you in regards to that. So with this, I chose to use, this is some designer series paper that you can only get by being a host. So all of you that are in my scrapbook club and card club, when it's your host month, and a lot of you have host months coming up in the next 2 to 3 months, you can get this awesome designer series paper. It costs $18 in the catalog. However, it's 18 host dollars. So you have to have a minimum $150 order that is placed to be able to get that. Now, I will tell you that I will be giving away a pack of that paper as part of my virtual party. So be on the lookout for that. There's an awesome little way that you can get that paper. And again, when you're in my card club, it's a 10-month commitment, and one of the months you are the hostess, and so you get to use the host dollars or pick $50 in free product. So again, just a matter of whatever you prefer, whether it's some of the host stamp sets and host paper, or just regular product that you would like out of the catalog. So for this one, I chose to use the Bermuda Bay cardstock, and I paired it with Granny Apple Green, and I love how that looked. This is some of that awesome designer series paper. Is that not pretty? And yet on the back side, so one side is all colorful, different colors, and then the back side is black and white. And then I have, so that is this piece right here is 2 by 5 1/4. And then I have one that's 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it's just gonna line up and have the little edgelet on there. So we are going to adhere those two together. And so what I did is I stamped on the background of this piece of the Granny Apple Green, just to kind of give it a little bit of flowered look to it without having to do anything too fancy with it. And I didn't even add any ribbon to this. You can see that the only thing I added was some of those rhinestones to the center of my flowers. And so that went down to the center. This went down to the card. And again, look how pretty. So in this case, I chose to use the flowers individually. I used one of the big ones, one of the little ones. Here on the little one, I colored it in with Bermuda Bay, both light and dark, to get some variation there. This one I actually used, I think it was Poppy Parade, but then you can see the centers. I used the color lifter, and all I did was lift out some of that color. So I just kind of went on top of this right here in the middle and lifted out some of that color. So you'll see that here on the ones that I'm going to be putting down. These I put on with a couple of dimensionals. So I'm just going to put a couple of these on here. Oh, I guess I need to do this part first. So I really love this saying, life is better with friends like you. And that is also part of the stamp set. All of the sentiments that I use on my cards tonight are part of the Flowers of Friendship. So, I like to kind of use everything that comes in the stamp set to show you guys how to use it all. And that's just going to get adhered down. And then this I put on with some dimensionals. So you could, again, with this stamp set, you can see in this one, I chose to stamp on Whisper White. I used Memento Black ink on Whisper White, and I colored the flowers in. However, on all of the ones that are on this little sheet that I shared with you, I stamped the Memento Black onto different colors of cardstock. So then you don't have to color at all. You have the colors of the flowers already there for the colors that you would like them to be. So again, lots of different choices of things that you can do with this bundle. And for $35, I think it's a pretty good value, for what you can do with it. A lot of times if you were to buy a bundle, you could buy the stamp set and you buy the dies and it's $52 or $55 or something. For $35 to get the this to kind of coordinate, I think it's, like I said, I think it's a really good value. I'm then gonna I wanna get some smaller rhinestones here. And I'm just gonna put rhinestones in the center here of the flowers. So one there, and then one here on this one. And again, you don't need a lot of bells and whistles on this. This is simply just, you know, stamped images and some rhinestones, and voila, you have a really pretty card. So that is card number 1. So this one I'm not going to make with you because I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about it. Now this die that I used right here, this die is part of the Contour, oh gosh, they're called the Contour something dies. I'm going to be showcasing these in my virtual party on Monday night. The make and take kit uses these shapes a lot. So I'm not going to talk too much about these dies tonight because you're going to hear all about them on Monday. But this card, I just used the die. I cut out a piece of black to go behind it I just did yellow and black. And then this I just colored in with Daffodil Delight blends, and then with my Granny Apple Green Light blends as well. And here you can see I outlined the flowers with the dark Daffodil Delight and then colored it in with the light. This right here I put on with some dimensionals just to give it a little bit of depth. This ribbon carried over. It's not new ribbon, but I love this ribbon. Kind of goes nicely with the little bit of pearl or the little bit of rhinestones that I added to that card. Okay, so since I already showed you that one, I thought I wouldn't make it since you already saw that one, and I would just talk about it. Let me see what else I have here. Oh, this is probably one of my favorites that I designed with this. Again, it's probably because it's in Kim colors, but this one right here. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this card because this is a great use of designer series paper, okay? So if you have scraps of designer series paper, it doesn't matter what size, look how pretty it is if you just take 2 that kind of coordinate, even if one's more patterned, one's more like your, you know, not so wild pattern. I layered them. I just put everything together. I mean, it's kind of cool when you see that it is, you know, just regular scraps of paper, and you just layer them together. I mean, that's all I did with this. So it's kind of cool. So hopefully, if I went out on you guys for a little bit, I apologize. I'm not sure what happened there. So anyway, we're gonna make this card together so that you guys can see it, how I did all that. Okay. So for this one, I chose to use the, let me see here, I used the Pool Party. So this is the Pool Party cardstock base. This is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm just gonna fold that in half. So I used that for my base, and I chose to use the, one of my favorite embossing folders is the Ornate Floral. I just love this. It's so pretty. Again, the only ribbon or whatever you want to call it, embellishment that I put on here is a little bit of this linen thread. You're going to see how I put that together on there. And then again, you can just layer any kind of scraps of designer series paper that you have. It doesn't have to be a specific size, okay? So these were scraps. I use this pack of paper to make tons of cards for my different swaps that I do, and I just happen to have a bunch of this left, so I just cut it in different pieces and went with it. So I'm just gonna layer these together here. I agree. These colors are pretty. I like them too. It's probably why it's one of my favorites. It's just something different, and it kind of makes me feel very springish, very springy, I should say. And it's the crumb cake behind it, I think, that I really like as well. So from there, I just layered these together, layered this down onto my card, kind of like that. Layered this one down on top like that, and then I stamped the thank you for everything, which is part of the stamp set, same stamp set, the Flowers Friendship stamp set, and I'm going to put that on with a couple of dimensionals onto the top. Thank you, Lou and Vicky and all of you that like this card. It was one of my favorites too. I thought it was pretty too. Okay, and I'm just going to put that up here on the top. So next, before I add the flowers, I want to add the linen thread. So all I did is I put a gob of glue down here on the bottom, and let me find my linen thread here, and I'm just going to pull some linen thread out. And I like to kind of run my fingers through it and kind of get it a little bit so it's not quite so curly from being on the spool. And I'm just going to hang on to it right here, and I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. And I'm not going to hold my fingers too tight because I want it to be a little bit wider. I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times here, and then I'm going to cut it. Okay, so you can see there's all the mess of stuff. Just going to cut it. So I've still got it pinched together, so you can see that it was still from where it was wrapped around my fingers, right? And then I'm just going to put this down, and I like to fold it kind of over on top of itself a little bit so that it will stick to that glue. And then from there, I'm just going to kind of hang on to it in the center. And it's okay if your ends come out, because you want your ends to kind of come out. You can see mine are right there. And you're just going to kind of spread this apart. Okay, and it will lay flat later. I promise you it will. And then from there, you're going to put your flowers wherever you would like them. Okay, so I have, again, this one is I already colored. I have the Flirty Flamingo colored with that. This is the Bermuda Bay. Let me find another one of my Bermuda Bays. So again, these are stamped just with adding the or the two different colors, the light and the dark on the smaller ones, the blends. And then from here, I'm just going to layer my flowers kind of wherever you want. So I might change it up a little bit on this card. Since that's trying to come up, I'm going to put one down there to hold it down. See how you just kind of got to think a little bit outside of the box? I'm just going to change it up a little bit and how my flowers are. So there you have it. And if you don't like this one being that long, you could always cut it down. But, you know, I like to kind of pull these apart afterwards so that you can kind of still see the loops, but they're a little bit, and in time it'll calm down just like this one did. But it just adds a little bit of touch behind that. And then I put a couple of rhinestones on there as well. Where are my rhinestones? Here they are. So I'm just going to put one on here, and I'll put one on the other side. So again, changing it up a little bit. Isn't that pretty? I love that card. I agree, Philomena. It just adds a little bit of touch to that, and I think it kind of ties in the crumb cake on this card. Makes it kind of all come together. So that is that card. The last card that I'm going to share with you as I'm looking at my time. And also I'll show you one that we are not going to make together. Again, this one's going to show you a little bit of a different take on the cards. This is a card I made where it's color on color. So this one, you've seen the samples of all the different flowers that I've done, where it's black, the Memento black on the different colors of cardstock. This one I actually did ink on, so I call it tone on tone. So it's like this, for instance, is Flirty Flamingo. The Flirty Flamingo ink on Flirty Flamingo cardstock. This is the Poppy Parade, and then the Pool Party. And then I use the Sprigs punch. So I use the Sprigs punch. Instead of having to punch out and punch a lot of the little individual flowers, I chose to use this instead. But there you have another little way that you can use this, where, again, all the flowers look different. Can you see how those flowers just look different just by changing out an ink color? Or by coloring them? I mean, so you've got lots of different things that you can do with this, this bundle. Okay, so the last one I'm going to create with you is this one right here. It's really quick, really simple. So let me find my supplies for that one. Here we go. I am not making too bad of a mess. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. So for this one, I chose to use, yes, good variety, Janet. That's what I like about the Stampin' Up! Bundles, is when they have, you know, the different options and things. And that's one thing I always try to aim for in my Facebook Lives, to showcase that for all of you, so that you can kind of see the versatility of using the Stampin' Up! Products. So this is the Granny Apple Green, and then I have a piece of Whisper White that's 5 1/4 by 4, and I ran it through the Bricks embossing folder. Again, no ribbon on this card. And then this is the same paper from that same paper pack that I showed you, or talked about, I should say. I know I showed it in one of my previous Facebook Lives. This is the same paper, that host paper, okay? And so I'm going to adhere this down. Now again, anybody who wants to put in a $30 minimum order from now through Sunday, you will get 3 of these, you'll get 2 of the cards, and then you'll get my 3D project sent to you. The 3D project won't be completely assembled. You'll have to assemble it, because I won't be able to send it in the mail assembled and have it get to you looking nice. This is also a class that I offered card this month. So it's also available that way as well. So, and that I offer in different ways. So, but I just decided to showcase it and show you guys all the different things you can do with it. So, so you have many different ways to get your hands on these cards that you're seeing tonight. So then that I just went ahead and adhered down. So see the green, the granny apple green is in here a little bit and just pulls that right out. Now these dies are from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. These are carried over from our annual catalog. So this is the new Pale Papaya cardstock. And then I just have the Whisper White, and I layered these two together, and I stamped again the little card Big Thanks. That also comes from the same stamp set, the Flowers of Friendship. And I'm just going to adhere those two together. And so you can see how simple these cards are to do. Like there's nothing fancy about them at all, but they're just pretty and simple and nice. So we're just gonna put a couple of dimensionals on there. And this is gonna go down here on the bottom. And then I did the same thing here. I colored my, my flowers using the new papaya colored of blend, and then I have the Flirty Flamingo. Now on these I just colored them straight out. On my sample you can see I did the two-tone look. Again, I wanted to show you guys how they look different ways, so I did that on purpose so that you could see how they look just being one color, because you don't have to get fancy with them. It's gonna look just as pretty without, you know, the two-tone. So I'm gonna adhere these on here like that. And then I'm going to top those with some of the rhinestones. This time I'm going to use my bigger rhinestones. So I'm going to put a bigger one here and a bigger one right there. Oh, that landed right in the perfect spot. Did you see that? Pretty cool. And there you have that card as well. Nothing too fancy with it, yet great things that you can do with this. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my presentation this evening. And I hope that you consider adding this to your collection. Again, it's $35 for the stamp set and the coordinating punch. I'll be posting a picture of this for all of the different things that you can create so you can have these ideas to refer to later. And then, of course, our adorable little candy holder. And I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of these candies again. But a cute little holder that you can, again, it's not falling out of there because you've created the tray for it to sit in and it fits perfect. So I'll be posting measurements for these as well. And Carol, it's purple. I know that Carol, one of my gals, loves purple, so I had to make that comment. So again, I hope that you've enjoyed what I've shared with you tonight. Next week, I'm planning to share with you the what's it called? The Elegantly Said bundle. And I can't wait to show you that. If you like Victorian and older themed, look yeah, Victorian themes, the best way I can think of it. Cards, that bundle is definitely going to be for you, and you're definitely going to wanna stay tuned for that, because there's some beautiful paper and beautiful cards and projects that I'm working on already for you that you'll be able to do. So thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. Like I said, I will be back here with you next Thursday. Originally I was not. I will be here with you all, and I look forward to seeing you then. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I should see some of you on my virtual party on Monday. Bye everyone.